It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. This should be a good one to watch. And it comes your way next.
Next to the beautiful San Francisco Bay, 40 miles from where Candlestick Park once stood. We're at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Welcome in, football fans. Thanks for joining us. Kate, Scott, Brock Hewitt here with you. And Brock, on paper, it's not quite the competitive contest that everyone hopes for each week, but projections have us heavily tilted towards one sideline here.
One thing that is cool, Kate, it's been really easy to rally together this week for this team because nothing will unite a football roster, in my experience, than having the whole world against you. Heck, even your own fans at home against you. They don't care if nobody thinks they've got a shot. Those dudes playing today, putting that uniform on, they believe they can do this, and the power of that belief is a big deal.
Cam Little out for the opening kick. And off we go in Santa Clara. It's Deebo Samuel with the return. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. So here come the 49ers for their opening drive. Leading them out, a player known, yes, for that draft status, but also as a great methodical passer. I know you love this guy, Brock. The last pick of the 2022 draft, it's Brock Purdy.
You know, Kate, people won't stop recognizing Brock Purdy as Mr. Irrelevant right at first, but they better start recognizing his game. He shed that label of his draft status to me long ago. He proved there is no fluke to his talent. He knows how to see it, how to feel it, how to deliver it, and most importantly, he knows how to elevate the people around him.
First play, he's going to throw. Purdy. Completed over the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Wideout's getting involved in the ground game. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Devin Lloyd on the tackle. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. Adds just a little more variety to your playbook. Makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Call it 1 yard there. So consecutive 1-yard runs brings up 3rd and 8.
Tried to mix in a little wide receiver carry and catch this defense on its heels. We've seen it work time and again, and it almost got there. Without that tackle, we could have seen a big gainer. But give some credit to the defense where credit is due.
On 3rd down, Purdy stays in the pocket. Can't find anyone open, and he's forced to throw it away. So that play doesn't work out, but things make it even worse for them. Looks like one of their big guys out front is in need of a look from the training staff. It's a punt coming from the Niners on 4th down, and Mitch Wisnowski out to boot it away. The punt's away, and this one looking good. Angled this one for the sideline. Now this one, not much of a chance of it staying in the field of play. They'll mark it out at the 13-yard line. So here are the Jaguars taking over for the first time on offense. And bringing them out, a former #1 overall pick out of Clemson in 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has had a remarkable career. Over 50 starts in high school and a winner all the way along. A national champion and 3-year starter at Clemson, and really a starter from day one after the first pick in the draft in Jacksonville. The key for Trevor at this level, though, is to do it season in and season out. That's what the greats before him have done. The Bradys, the Mannings, the #1 picks of the past. If you want to become a great, And you want to take your game to another level, you got to do it year in and year out.
It's a pickup of 11. And that's a Jaguar first down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
First down throw, Lawrence. The throw finds Evan Ingram. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's Etienne on first down. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Brought down by Javon Hargrave. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against them. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
Can't get it to him. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that really well-covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Out of the gun, Lawrence has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. On 4th down, it's Logan Cook on for the Jaguars to punt it away. Wow, special teams highlight here. What a kick, downing it at the 1. San Francisco headed out for its 2nd possession of the game. They're looking at the entire field in front of them. A long drive ahead, Brock, as they start out very close to their own goal line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. Chad Muma there to bring him down. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
On 2nd down, here's McCaffrey. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the carry, though. It's 3rd and 7 now.
This close to your own goal line, they really don't want to risk a sack. That means, well, one option, run it and buy whatever breathing room you can.
Looking at a tough spot to punt it away if this 3rd down is unsuccessful. Going run again with McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a 1st down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the 1st down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
All right, set now, 1st and 10. They stick with McCaffrey. And he gets it forward to steal about a yard out of that. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Back to McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. Give him 4 on that run. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
3rd and short. Here's Purdy. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a 49er first down.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
On 1st and 10, it's McCaffrey. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
They'll run now on 2nd down. Down the sideline to the 45. That's 16 on the pickup. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Now a give. It's McCaffrey headed right. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Stopped that time by Antonio Johnson. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Purdy setting up that play action. It's taken in by Juszczyk. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap for Purdy. That's caught for the first. And he gets this forward to the 19. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, and sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. First down from the red zone. Dumps it off to his running back. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can you get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
Trying an inside give now with McCaffrey. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
You make that call to just give yourself a fighting chance on 3rd down, Kate. Take at least a little bite out of the big meal between them and the first down marker. And that should make this upcoming call a little less daunting.
They'll motion him out of the backfield. This throw is cut. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down, and nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Mason gets in. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers go up 6-0 here in the first. So our first score of the game here as they cap off that drive with a touchdown.
It's really what you're looking for, Kate, offensively. You want to force the other guys into thinking they need to play a little catch-up right away. So a nice job to get that first score and take early control of this game.
Jake Moody on for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the 49ers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Devin Duvernay to return it. And look at this return. Races past midfield. And nearly down to the opposing 40 before he gets out of bounds. Excellent return there.
In his mind, when he hit the Jets and hit that right sideline, he thought he had himself a touchdown. He beat the coverage unit clean, and there was a whole bunch of green grass. Still, an excellent return to be proud of, and really setting this offense up now for some success.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. They'll start this series with an option left. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
When they drop these plays for the quarterback, these are the type of results they're expecting, Kate. Something that could tear a hole in the defense, move the chains, and just as importantly, and maybe most importantly, put a seed of doubt and thought into that defensive mind that the QB can run at any time.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. He sends this one to the end zone. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Talanoa Hufanga makes the play. And the 49ers get the football on the first turnover of the contest. Well, I know I don't need to tell you, partner, but if you're going to try to get aggressive, really push a throw downfield like that, you have to be smart about how you do it.
Yeah, that is spot on, Kate. If you've got to find that spot when you know the coverage won't be able to hold up, especially as you go 20, 30, 40 yards down the field. Hey, listen, these defenders in the league today, you throw a ball deep down the field like that, it turns into a 50-50 ball. More times than not, they can make a play and take it away just as they did.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Play action now with Purdy. Hits his tight end on the corner route. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. It's a gain of 22. And that's a 49er first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug of war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
2nd down now, 7 to go. From the gun, here's a handoff. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, that's a tough one because you could see the beginnings of what looked like an explosive play. But let's give some credit here, Kate, to the defense. A great job to bottle him up before it came to fruition.
Motion man is the tight end here, going left. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
The 49ers are lined up in punt formation. Out to return this for the Jaguars, Devin Duvernay. Jacksonville heading out there on offense. And things have gone from bad to worse in their 2 drives. Hopefully the third time's the charm for them. They find some success. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. A lot of grass ahead. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. Lawrence now off the play action. It's taken in by Washington. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Now Lawrence on the play fake. Connection made, Travis Etienne. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the 1st.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
From the shotgun, Lawrence finds him over the middle. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Diamador Lenore, they're on the stop.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you could take a lick at any time.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Kate, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Jacksonville in punt formation. The Niners have Ricky Pearsall ready to return. Absolutely crushed his first punt, and here's another huge one. The 49ers back on offense and set to take over. And their goal is going to be doubling that 7-0 lead they have so far. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And the first down pass sent away by a defender, incomplete. That throw was looking for Brandon Ayuk. And now they face second down.
Now, you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignment's hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
Escapes the pocket. He takes it himself. And they had that one contained right at the line. Sent to the ground by Mason Smith. It was the rookie from LSU that time on the tackle. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. Back to Levi Stadium right after this. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They're looking at third and still 10 here. From the gun is Purdy. Complete beyond the marker. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. That finds Ayuk, complete. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the gun, McCaffrey. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Hey, I know the temptation is there. If I'm thinking it in the booth, I know that play caller is too. That could have been a chance to be aggressive. Not the case. Go get the first down like they did, and a new set of downs to work with.
First and 10 from the 41. Purdy looking to throw. Brought in by Ayuk. And he's taken down at the 30. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
They send one of the tight ends in motion right. Finds the in route, complete. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Devin Lloyd on the tackle.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun, handoff to McCaffrey. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make third down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this third down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Motioning one of the tight ends. Throw on 3rd down. That's taken in by Samuel. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They're now set for a 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And he can't hang on. Touchdown in his arms. But it slips through. 2nd down coming up.
that is such a bummer. A dropped touchdown right in the end zone. We're going to see how quickly he can flush this one. He better, because they got to make an impact later.
They'll try it right with McCaffrey. And he gets it down to the 13-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Now they've got 3rd and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Shotgun now on 3rd down. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
Moody knocks it through. And they come away with some points on that series.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Here's Parker Washington with the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Now the Jaguars offense ready to take over once more. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Lawrence working from the gun. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Throwing is Lawrence on 3rd down. Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball. Left side. Couldn't find Brian Thomas Jr. on that throw. So that brings up 4th and long.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
They'll send Logan Cook out again for the punt. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And he's just going to fair catch that one at the 24-yard line. The 49ers are headed back out on offense as we get a look at Christian McCaffrey. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Tight end going in motion here. First down throw by Purdy. Into the hands of Kittle. And he's going to be out of bounds just before reaching the 30.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the gun, they're going to hand it off. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know what that felt like to me, Kate? That felt like a little bit of overthinking, where he was just waiting for the perfect lane and the breakaway run. But against defenses in this league, you hesitate, you get tackled for a loss.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Purdy to throw it. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run. Oh, he loses the football. Jags pick it up.
Man, that run was looking so good for him, but you'll see QBs don't always tuck it away like running backs do. That was loose, ball away from his body, and in prime position to be knocked free. That's exactly what happens once that defender catches him downfield.
Now the Jaguars getting set to go. And coming off a 3-and-out, Brock, they really need to build some momentum from the ground as they try to get on that scoreboard here. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Here's ETN on 1st down. And he gets him around 6 there. Nick Bosa makes the stop. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
On 2nd down, it's ETN. And without much room, he's going to go down at the 32-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Running left with Bigsby. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. Cam Little getting the call on 4th down here to put 3 up for the Jaguars. This from 48 on the left hash. The kick by Shudak is good. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead's 7.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Samuel now to return it. They'll have decent field position to begin with here, Brock. He's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense headed out to take over. And their defense held up after that fumble. Only gave up 3, so time for this offense to make it up to them. Get some points of their own. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's a 49er 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Running back sent in motion. Kittle brings it in. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Play brought to an end by Ronald Darby.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Here we go, third and less than a yard. To throw again, it's Purdy. He has the first over the middle. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on third down, that's a QB's best friend.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. A give left side to McCaffrey. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Stopped by Foye Oluokun. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Purdy setting up that play action. Escapes the pocket. He's going to pull this one down and run with it. And he breaks out the slide. Didn't want to take a hit, but he is just shy of the first down marker.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Got a man. McCaffrey has it. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
4th down now, and on comes Jake Moody for the 49ers field goal. Ball on the right hash, the distance 43 yards. Moody knocks it through. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Washington now to return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Jacksonville offense back on the field now. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First play of the drive, and he takes an option left. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. Leonard Floyd bringing that play to a close. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
I can promise you that's not what it looked like on the practice field nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful. It'll be a gain of 5. They still need 4 on 3rd down.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Complete. It's Ingram. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Crosses midfield, still going. And he's finally stopped across midfield at the 47. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards. But they'll take that every single time.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. ETN gets it on the draw. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there, brought down by Fred Warner.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They go right back to ETN. And he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that's a Jaguar first down.
I think with that call, they were trying to set him up with a short third down run, but he said, nope, not on my watch. I'll just go get it all right here. Now, playbook's wide open for 1st and 10.
Kirk comes in motion right. Going to the ground again on first. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. So it's the 2-minute warning here from the home of the faithful. The Jaguars looking for a score before halftime. Second and 13. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Cam Little now to try the Jags field goal. He was good on his first attempt, and a second from a little over 45 here. The kick by Shudak is good. And that'll bring it back to within a score. The lead 7.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Here's a return from the 7. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. The 49ers headed back out on offense as we get another look at Brock Purdy. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. The 49ers find themselves in a great spot to start this drive. 1st and 10 coming up. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Flush down out to his left. Now here he goes. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now Purdy. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Throwing from the gun here. That throw finds Kittle. And he's going to be drugged down. Looks like at that 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
He's got it near the 8. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers will add to their lead at the end of the half. Deebo Samuel, the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
On is Moody for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the 49ers double their lead to 14. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. This drive starts with barely any time left. 13 seconds in the half. Yep, as expected, they go to the ground to start this one off. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Talanoa Hufanga there to make the play. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9. So we're halfway through this contest from Santa Clara, California. The hometown 49ers out in front. As we hear from Jonathan Coachman over in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit, but first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Niners got a fine performance in the first half from one of their leaders, Brock Purdy. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Washington now to return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35. The Jaguars send running back Travis Etienne trotting back out to the field. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. The Jaguars in a good starting spot for this drive. Coming up, 1st and 10. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Second down now, 7 to go. Now Lawrence on the play fake. They touch him down, but a great pickup, and it's good for a first.
Kate, when you watch the combine, you'll watch guys try to make this throw. And without chemistry, it's so hard to execute. That was picture perfect. That's a QB and receiver on the same page, because that route, that deep out to the field, that takes just a different level of connectedness.
First and 10 from the 41. From the gun, ETN gets it. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Brought down by Fred Warner. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. They bring Thomas in motion. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Washington. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
On 1st and 10, here's Lawrence. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it? They built this type of lead for themselves because that's actually, Kate, their first sack of the game. And that's why smart front offices and complete teams build a well-rounded roster. That way, if a core component like the pass rush today isn't there, well, the other areas of the team pick each other up.
Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And that's good for a gain of 5. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop. That's 5, it looks like, on the play. So now it's going to be 3rd and 8.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
The 49ers are ready to go on offense, and we'll get a look at Deebo Samuel. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start the second half with McCaffrey. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. Eric Armstead there on the stop. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Going run again with McCaffrey. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. The former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker, on the stop. No gain here after a gain of only 1, and now they'll face 3rd and 9. They'll motion him out of the backfield. Throw complete to Juszczyk. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Punt team on the field. It'll be Mitch Wisnowski doing the honors. Averaging a little under 50 a kick so far, Brock, as he gets away another one. Looking to return from the 29. And some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. Call that a booming 56 yards in the end. And it'll be Jaguars football. New set of downs for him at the 38. Slot man in motion left. Inside handoff goes to Etienne. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
He easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a first down pickup.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Got Washington, it's complete. Good little rip there, looks like about 6. Diamador Lenore there on the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Now a carry by Etienne. And all that for a single yard. What an effort to get what he could there. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3. Out of the gun, Lawrence. That's caught for the first. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. It's a Christian Kirk touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. Yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Cam Little to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Fielded at the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. That's taken in by Samuel. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35.
Hey, Kate, you know this from covering the Seahawks, calling their preseason game. When Pete Carroll was there, if he said it once, he said it 100 times. Stay on top, stay on top, stay on top. You'll give up a short little out route like that, but just stay on top of the deep threat.
From the 33 on second down. Nabs along that sideline. Samuel. 16 yards on the play. And that's a 49er first down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Play action now with Purdy. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he takes it across midfield and into Jaguars territory.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
On second down, here's McCaffrey. He finds space for a few yards that time. It was Andre Sisco who hauled him down there. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on third down. He's got it on the bootleg. He's on the move. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
So out now comes the punter. And he'll try to hit this one well. So this one goes out of bounds inside the 20, but not by much. They're giving him the 18-yard line. The Jaguars returning their offense and this running back to the field. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones. Continuing to hit this defense, more good numbers well into this second half. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. He's got the hook up to Ingram. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Here's first and 10 from the 34. Lawrence throwing here. Jump off caught by his back. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Now they'll throw out of the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. It's a pickup of 11. And that's a Jaguar first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Running it here with ETN. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
That's a pretty good stop on first down. This defense now gets a chance to dictate, and that's what all the great defenses want to do, Kate. They want to dictate it on their terms and not just be reacting to what the offense is always doing.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. ETN again. Breaks the tackle, still going. This is ahead for about 5. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop. We got 5, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 3.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Lawrence now off the play action. He has the first over the middle, and he's taken down at the 30. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wow, wide open here, complete. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. From the red zone now. And he scores. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars can tie it up after hitting pay dirt in the 3rd. It's a Christian Kirk touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the 4th quarter that could go either way.
On is Little for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jaguars tie this game up. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. He fields it from the 8. They'll bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. First and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap for Purdy. This is reeled in by Juwan Jennings. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
2nd and 3 now. They'll empty the backfield and motion him right. Purdy gets this from the pistol. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrived at the exact same time there. And now they'll face a 3rd and 3. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. He gets 6 on that play, and it brings up a San Francisco first down.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
Past midfield to the 45. Down the sideline into the red zone. And he's all the way down to the 10-yard line. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
Anytime you go over half the field in one play, totally changes the complexion of the drive. They're now set up beautifully in enemy territory to end the series with some type of points.
They'll come up 1st and 10. They stick with McCaffrey. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle. Second down now, 7 to go. They toss right side to McCaffrey. And he stopped just a little short of the goal line. He's down to the 2. 5 yards on the play. They could just do that again. 3rd and 2 coming up.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Here's Purdy to throw. And got his man. That's a San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers take a third-quarter lead. George Kittle, the touchdown. When you reach the status that he has around the league, Brock, well, we all at this point expect him to be making plays like this when he's targeted down near the end zone.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say about this dude is he makes it look easy a lot of the time. And this game, trust me, is never easy. It speaks to how well he plays this position.
On is Moody for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the 49ers break that tie and now lead by 7. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Washington now to return. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. The Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence set to take over on offense once again. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. First and 10 now from the 30. Kirk in motion left. Drive starts with a quick throw left, complete. And he's going to go out of bounds. Looks a little short of the 35. Second and 6 coming up here. Trying it right side with Etienne. Has a lane past the 45. And he's brought down at the 44. It's a 21-yard gain. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
You know, it is so refreshing for these running backs when they have space to run. It's hard. There's so many collisions between the tackles. When they get on the edge and have green grass, well, the best of them take advantage of it.
From the 44-yard line now, first and 10. Here's Etienne. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Okay, don't think for a second this is time you step off the gas. You can feel this defense, right? They're on their heels. And now's the best chance to go push the envelope and get aggressive.
They've got first down from the 31. From the shotgun, Lawrence. It's caught. This is Gabe Davis. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. That play good for 17 and a first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
First down throw, Lawrence. This one's caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. So we hit the end of the third quarter. It's Jaguars football. They trail, but it's still within reach. Second and 3 now. It's a design boot. And this is caught. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars now trail by just a point in the fourth. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
So a chance to tie it up again here in the fourth. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the fourth. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. Return's looking good so far. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. The home team's back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. Their last drive contained a heavy dose of the ground game, a little old-school dominance on the way to a touchdown, Brock. Let's see if they stick with it or if they go aerial this time around. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3.
Well, I know this. This staff loves the athleticism and versatility he brings to the offense. That's not only as a receiver, but as someone who can take occasional carries and turn them into good yards.
3rd and short. Here's Purdy. That finds Ayuk complete. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's a 49er first down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. From the gun is Purdy. Completed here to McCaffrey. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Shotgun, handoff to McCaffrey. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Give him 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun, it's Purdy. Escapes the pocket. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps the drive moving.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the first down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. They kick the running back in motion. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it brings up a San Francisco first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Running back sent in motion. Purdy now on 2nd and 10. This ball's cut by McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 16.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. To throw again, it's Purdy. And got his man, that's a San Francisco touchdown! The 49ers take a 4th quarter lead. It's a Brandon Ayuk touchdown. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
On is Moody for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the 49ers break that tie and now lead by 7. Out to kick it away. Here's Moody. Here's Duvernay on the return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. Out now runs the Jaguars offense. Still time to go, Brock, but that touchdown has them down now 7. They've got to find the end zone here. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Receiver in motion, headed right. 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Washington. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on the drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Out of the gun, Lawrence. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
Still inches to go on 3rd down. On the run, it's Etienne. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
That is your old school meat and potatoes call right there. Don't even think about throwing it. Just rush it ahead and get what you need.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Now Lawrence on the play fake. That's complete. Here's Kirk. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Lawrence working from the gun. Taken in by Kirk right side. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Etienne. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Shotgun snap, they're going to throw. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They could bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Rolling left, buying some time. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him, calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
They can decide to play for the tie or win later. First, they've got to reach that end zone. It's 1st and goal. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
We call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
Now from the 6 after that last play. Here's 2nd and goal. He's got it on the bootleg. And he will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars now trailed by just a point in the 4th. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
So a chance to tie it up again here in the 4th. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the fourth. All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. Returning it from the 4. He stopped on the return at the 27. The home team's ready for their next series. Led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Shotgun snap for Purdy. Brought in by Ayuk. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's a 49er 1st down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Now a give, it's McCaffrey headed right. And he winds up with a solid gain down past the 45. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. That's why they got the home run derby. But you know what? Talk to managers, and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you, you get runs of that length, it may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Hey, look, in the right situation, you catch a team off guard, well, this could be a tremendous play for some big yards. But in the wrong situation, you get hit in the mouth right behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Purdy. Cover man is there, and he harmlessly knocks it away. Incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The offense getting set to go. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. The problem? Defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers, and they got one right there with that sack.
And they are there to bring him to a halt at the 26. They get 6 on the run, and that sets up 3rd and 10 for them.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Lawrence to throw it. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
The Jaguars in a punt formation. And he's been getting all of it every time out. Averaging over 50 yards a kick, and this is another one well hit. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideout. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Play action now with Purdy. He's on the move. He's going to tuck it and run. It's out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. They're running the option, short side, and not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that leaves him with 3rd down and 3.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
Back to throw it. Got a man. McCaffrey has it.
Those kind of completions are so frustrating, Kate. It's like a putt. You got it on line. You feel good about it's going in the hole, but you never want to leave it short.
Their punter making his way out now. And this is the 5th time he's been called upon today. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And it'll be their football. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Ooh, I like that call. I really like it with those sticks. You can keep them on the sidelines, and you get more than enough to get the 1st down.
They're set up at the 35 now. Going to the ground again on 1st. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Lawrence now off the play action. That's Thomas. He's got it. And he'll get it up to the 44.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
ETN on third down. And they're going to bring him down just as we've come up to the 2-minute warning. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. A quick slant caught by Washington. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here he is to throw. That's taken in by ETN. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. We get a timeout here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10. An option give here to ETN. Still has room inside the 15. And finally, they catch up to him at the 11. San Francisco calls it second timeout. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They go right back to ETN. In the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. The 49ers will call their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. Out of the gun, a give to ETN. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Running it after the penalty. And he has this one down to the 8-yard line. He gets them half of what they needed. So after a 7-yard gain, it's 3rd and 7.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Motioning Washington right. From the gun, ETN gets it. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. He comes through with 6. It's going to be 4th and 1.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
Cam Little now in a high-pressure spot. This is a chip shot from the left hash. That one is good! And that, folks, is your game winner!
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
All set for the kickoff. Little with the honors. He'll bring it out from a couple yards deep. And he's brought down, Brock, and that brings his ball game to a close. So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. And with overtime in their back pocket, they weren't going to lose it at the end, but they still managed to set up the field goal, and he executed the game winner. What a memorable way to win it. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a win for the Jaguars, as we'll see you next time from Santa Clara.